Okay, so I come from the Presbyterian tradition. We are not just the hardest one to spell of the bunch, okay? That's not just us. We have an unofficial history. Most of our ancestry comes from folks in Scotland and Ireland, and our unofficial history contains two things. We drink whiskey and we take no shit. That is it. I'm not in a church right now, I can say it, all right? But to give you a sense of what this tradition is like, during the American Revolution, when we were trying to throw off tyranny in that form in that day, King George and British loyalists here in the colonies referred to the revolution as the Presbyterian Rebellion. Presbyterians came from Scots-Irish immigrant communities who had a long tradition of resisting tyranny and authoritarian governments in their homeland. And when they emigrated here illegally, they were not about to put up with more of the same. From the very beginnings of this nation that we call home today, Presbyterians recognized that in order for our nation and for our democracy to thrive, we needed something vital. We needed education. We needed independently minded people to be good citizens so that we could not be manipulated by the propaganda of the authoritarian class. Anybody ever heard of a founding father named John Witherspoon? You probably haven't. Maybe a few of you have. He was a Presbyterian minister who signed the Declaration of Independence, who founded a little place called Princeton College. He was known to say, resistance to tyranny is obedience to God. Resistance to tyranny is obedience to God. When people today talk about the religion of the founding fathers today, they tend to leave quotes like that out, don't they? What we Presbyterians understand is that education is vital to the human spirit. We are not merely producers or consumers or products of an algorithm. We are citizens and we are free thinkers. And education lays the foundation for us to be engaged citizens in our communities, in our congregations, and in our governments. And one of the best things that we can do as a society is to ensure access to equitable public education and encourage people to continue learning and growing throughout their adult lives. But what we see in this moment, in this community, in this state, is an attempt to dismantle public education. Give me the red signs, come on. They seek to defund, to take public dollars and put them in private hands. They seek to pay poverty wages to our teachers and our school staff. This is not just a strategy to frustrate us. It is a strategy meant to pacify our communities into accepting a new form of tyranny. It is meant to lull us into a propagandized mass that cannot cooperate enough to resist the attempts of those who would seek to control our property, our resources, our bureaucracies, and our futures. Let's just say it plainly. The political discourse of this moment is meant to propagandize and dull us, to pit us against our neighbors rather than to be good ones. And in the vacuum of our cooperative power, they come to mortgage our futures for private gain. This is a great evil. And Presbyterians want us to wake up, to recapture our free thinking and independent spirit, to re-engage our vigor for resisting tyranny in all forms, and to start a new revolution that embraces our shared responsibility to create a future that democratizes gain and the quality of life, not just for our generation, but for future generations as well. Friends, education and faith should lead us to freedom, not to subjugation. They should lead us to learn and understand one another better and build communities that include one another, that we don't fear and isolate each other. Any message and any faith that leads us away from freedom or cooperation is a deception. It is meant to disempower us. But you see, education is power. Say it with me. Education is power. Because education empowers us to recognize those deceptions and those false pretenses which so many in our society operate with. Even more so, we can choose together to go in a different direction than the one they are trying to lead us down. Currently, those who are in power are trying to lead us in some very particular directions. They want to lead us in a direction of suppressing the vote. Do we want to go that way? No. They want to lead us in the direction of giving over our public lands for private profit. Do we want to go in that direction? No. They want to lead us in the direction of higher energy costs and sweetheart deals for billion-dollar corporations and data centers. Do we want to go in that direction? No. They want to lead us in the direction where we are afraid of our neighbors and to see others as some kind of threat when they just want to come and contribute to our community. Do we want to go in that direction? No. They want to take us down a path of endless war and ever-increasing military budgets. Do we want to go down that path? No. They want to lead us to defund our public education, to demonize our teachers and pay them poverty wages, and give that money to those who already got. Do we want to go in that direction? No. Well, then we've got some work to do. To work together, to move in the opposite direction, to build a great migration of faith to a new promised land together. Because education is power. Yeah. Education is power. Education is power. Education is freedom. Education is resistance. And resistance to tyranny is obedience to God. Can I get an amen? Amen.